Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehart. Although Bill seems a little distracted because he can see the golf course from where he's at.
Yeah, we tried to close the blinds, didn't work. He opened it back up.
And they're sitting in front of, is that your library or Becky's library?
Well, we got them behind us, and we got them over here. We got them upstairs. We got them in the other room. We have 2,500 books. And the reason we can never move is we don't know how to get rid of the books.
I've got all my books behind me too. And I don't think one of them has been colored in yet.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. Bring it to my house.
You know, we have some, a lot of these books I've read, the ones that are fun, mystery, humor, but we have some great books I've never read. And Mark Twain said, a great book is any book that you should read, but never read.
Books people praise and don't read. That's the definition of a classic.
Number one rated book among most academic literature professors is Ulysses by James Joyce. I have tried to read it 10 times. I get 10 pages in and I throw it against the wall.
I tell you, some books that are really hyped. It's like movies. People hype movies, and then you go to the movie, you're disappointed because it's been overhyped. A friend of mine wanted me to read the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Have you ever read that book?
By Prissig. Yeah.
I got about halfway through it, and I thought, this is the stupidest thing I've ever read in my life.
He did have a theme. He's going across the country on a motorcycle with his boy, and his theme was, we don't like the machine, we like nature, but he's trying to point out the machine is actually made out of nature, the metal and stuff. So if you hung in there long enough, it had a theme.
It was repetitive and boring.
Well, it is. I have an autograph. I kind of liked it. I've written a book coming out next month by Pantheon called Zen and the Art of the Podcast with Dave and Bill.
Yeah, you got that book?
I'd like to read that book.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I think I had the copyright on that.
Well, you did. I stole it. You were too slow out of the draw.
Okay.
Anyway,
We're ready.
weather's still good, but it's going to get cold. So we're
Anything
ready.
Anything new?
Bill, anything?
Well, I don't want to go on a rant, so I'll just be quiet.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to do that.
Talk about Dye.
No, yeah, Jim died.
Jim Dye, Sunday's paper.
Yeah,
Got to read it.
got me a little upset.
Bill got jacked up there. Jim Dye came out and hit us a little hard.
Yeah. Well, that particular school is near and dear to Bill's heart.
Yes, he was, when he was in charge of it, they didn't get any kind of rating like that, did they?
No.
Yeah, it's sad. Sad.
I haven't seen the paper yet, except that I did put it together, so I kind of know what's in it.
But we just want the best for Tuscola and its kids. We want to be the best.
Expectations.
Expectations.
You don't have to be the best. You just have to look the best.
No. Want to be the best.
What was the character on Saturday Night Live? It's better to look good than to feel good, or
Well, that sounds like an old joke.
yeah.
You look good, but you feel bad. No, I feel good, but I look bad. I'll tell that some other day.
We got some pictures to get to. Let's
Well, you cut that joke off quick.
Oh, that was it.
oh, that was a joke?
Well, it was going to get into a joke, but it was a bad joke.
Hey,
Oh, I'm
David,
sorry.
once again, hey, for the Chronicle, is Carolyn Cloyd going to write?
She's got one this week.
Good. I'll read it.
2 full pages.
Can't beat that.
You always limited me to 750 words.
Yes, I did.
You want to limit the bleeding? You're saying you want to limit the bleeding? Is that what you're saying?
You were over 750 words last week.
Well, it was 841.
Now, I will tell you.
Last I knew, that was
enjoyed
over
it.
750.
I didn't have a chance to tell Mike that I enjoyed the article, but it would have helped if up top we would have had your name or picture or something because all I saw was the owl. And at first I passed it up until I saw your name in little small print at the end of the article.
Yeah, where'd my artist photo go on that, David?
Well, I didn't, I guess I could have put it there, except I normally wouldn't put a column on page 3.
Sure.
So I treated it like a kind of a special Halloween feature.
Well, it
And,
was.
you always sign your columns in lowercase at the bottom, kind of an E.E. Cummings kind
Right.
of thing.
You
And-
know me, I don't want to draw attention to myself.
All right, yeah, that's exactly right. So I thought about putting a byline on it, but I always think I don't want to put a byline on it and the bottom tag. And if the bottom tag, because it's duplicative, so if the bottom tag is what you like, then I'll just do that.
Yeah, well, don't go overboard on me.
I overthink things sometimes.
When in doubt, leave it out. Anyway, thanks for putting it in your paper, David. I thought it was nice. And Bill may remember those days of the Strand when it was the era of the giant mutant bug.
Remember the fly?
Oh God, the fly.
Oh, gee, me.
The grasshoppers that went up and ate devoured Ludlow. If you see the movie, it goes through Paxton and destroys the whole town of Ludlow, and goes up into Chicago. It shows that the director tried to get the grasshoppers climbing a small building, the Wrigley building. They wouldn't do it, so he just laid a photo down and had them crawl across it and photographed it. And then the way they killed them was they went out in the middle of Lake Michigan. In one version of the movie, they're playing Slim Whitman's Indian love song. Oh, and all the grasshoppers jump out in the lake and drown. A Creature from the Black Lagoon, and we can go on and on about this.
I was afraid of
The
flies.
tarantula.
What do you mean you can go on and on?
Well, the movies.
The movies. We
Well,
like movies.
I think you already have gone on and on.
David, that's why you cut me off at 7:50. David, you know that Halloween article was 8:41. Now here's what Phil Deaver told me was the hardest thing, and you don't have a problem with this, but Deaver and I did. You write something that you think is wonderful, is exactly what you want to say, and then you gotta cut it down. You gotta pare it down because it's too wordy or it's too long. And Deaver called that killing the babies. He says you got to kill your babies. You got to take a sentence out you think is brilliant. So I took that from probably 1,200 words down to 841. I said, I'm done.
I have no trouble cutting it down.
No, you're a very efficient, economical writer.
I wrote an essay one time, and it was 500 words, and they said you're limited to 100 words.
Oh my goodness.
So I cut it down. I cut 100 words out of it, and I cut another 100 words out, and finally I got down to 100 words.
Yeah. I spoke at graduation one time, and I swear they told me I had 15 minutes. So I wrote the speech, and I practiced it, just to time it. And it's right around 15, 16 minutes, and I got a call that probably about 2 hours to go. The principal called me and said, don't forget you've got 10 minutes. And so I said, you said 15. I said, well, I meant 10. So I had about an hour to go, and I carved a bunch out. So I remember giving the talk. I thought it was really good, really funny, And after it was all over, I had a couple of the board members walk up to me and says, great job. You kept it to 10 minutes. I said, what do you think of the content? They just stared at me. What did you think of the message?
All they cared about was what was on the
10 minutes.
watch. Yeah.
That's all they cared about.
You were on the clock.
Be brief and be seated.
Yeah.
Law school, I think I told you this law school joke where you take all these notes all year long and you've got 1,000 pages of notes and you're getting ready going through this big final. And the key, everybody tried to get their notes down to 100 pages or 50 pages or whatever, just the key points. They talked about this brilliant guy that got it down to 2 pages, and then he worked over all night and he got down to 1 page and he got to 1 paragraph. And finally, right before the test, he got down to 1 word that captured everything. He went in the final and he forgot the word. That's you, David.
That'd be me. I'd forget the word.
No, you're a great writer, David. I enjoy your columns.
Let us see a picture.
David, the other thing about you as a writer is you sit down and just.
Mike's not done talking about me yet, Bill.
Oh, okay.
And he not gonna cut me off. So I'm going to talk about him. I know, and Bucky and I have talked about this. Bucky and I agonize over articles. We rewrite them 4 or 5 times. We're afraid we're going to make a fool of ourselves. David, just what do you say? What's your slogan?
Hit it and forget it.
Yeah. And you never Monday morning quarterback yourself or look backwards, or that was it. Well, it's a wonderful gift.
Write it, kick it out the door.
There you go.
If
Wonderful
somebody
gift.
doesn't like it, let them edit it.
You'll live longer that way.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have that kind of confidence.
Mhm.
Bucky and I are just racked with low self-esteem.
I will be right after this webcast. I'm headed out to a college journalism conference where I'll be talking to students about column writing.
Are you going to tell them about shit it and forget it?
Maybe.
You know the shortest? Hey, David, you probably wrote the shortest poem ever. Ogden Nash wrote the shortest poem ever.
Yeah.
You'd like this. It's entitled Adam. And the poem is Adam had him. It's called Fleas. Fleas was the title. It said Adam had him.
Adam had them.
Hey, David, would you like to take Mike to the conference with you?
Yeah. I could give him some tips, David.
Well, we only have 10 minutes.
I can get it down to 10.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go.
I'm taking Dominic with me.
Hey, David, this is the most we've got you to talk in a long time. I had to draw you out.
Really? Well, if you want to talk about me, I'll be happy.
Where'd you
Happy
get
to
that
do
main? You lived on Ohio Street, so I know where you got that sign. Where'd you get the main?
Well, I lived on Main Street when I was born.
Okay.
Ohio.
You
How
know,
do you get those? How do you get those?
City threw them away.
Just a wrench and midnight requisition?
no, the city, I think they sold them after they replaced the signs. I think you could go in for, like $10 or something. You could buy one of the old ones.
Okay, that's smart.
And
I don't remember buying mine.
well, I don't know.
I've
Maybe they
got
didn't.
Douglas. I've got Ohio.
Bill, you also have a sign from Paducah that you never bought.
That's true too. I do. Have
You know where Jared Farlow lives on Main
Yep.
Street.
Mhm.
That's where we lived when I was born.
That big 2-story house?
Well, a story and a half, I think.
Okay. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm thinking the original Farlow house there.
No,
No, this is the one on Main Street.
Okay.
where Smith lived.
Yeah, where Mike Smith lived,
But didn't Farlows live in that?
next to Joe Slaughter.
Yeah, but
Joe and Ruth.
didn't they live in that big house where Rays live at now?
Yeah,
They're-
Farlow's.
Yeah,
Yeah, Farlow's back in the
Adams' house.
80s,
Adams.
70s, and 80s. Yeah, Glenn Adams.
Mhm.
owned it.
Adams house. Yeah,
And,
Glenn Adams owned that place on the corner.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a different house.
yeah.
So you're a Maine, Ohio guy.
Yeah, this was next door to Sins, Henry Sin.
Oh yeah, Bill.
Oh, we know him.
Oh yeah, I knew that bring back some memories for you.
Yeah, especially Mrs. Sin.
I think there's still a Buckeye tree there.
Oh, very much so.
Guy's worth about $1 billion. You want a Buckeye? No, I want some of your money.
Good luck.
Good luck. Well,
All right.
David,
We're ready.
I'm a Niles Street guy all the way.
Nile Street. Okay.
Henry Niles.
I always thought that was interesting that the street named after the guy who surveyed the city was the crookedest street in town.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I wrote about that once down there at Deaver's house where it jaunts about 10 feet. He made a lot of mistakes. Way back when we had abstracts, we had lots that were just 10 feet short. And I went down to Rick Marsh and I said, this doesn't make sense. He goes, no, it doesn't. Henry, he made a lot of mistakes, a lot of math mistakes. I said, well, how do you do it? He says, well, first one in gets it.
Yeah.
First one I give the title policy gets it. The next one's just out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to work around Henry for a lot of cases.
Couldn't split the difference.
Well, yeah, that'd be a fair way to do it. But Rick's way was first one in gets it.
All right. Well, Bill's ready for pictures.
Yeah,
right.
he's watching the golf. We've lost him. He's watching golfers.
So anything else we want to talk about, Mike, before
Before Bill falls asleep. Before Bill gets up and walks off. No. Let's go show some pictures. Bill's always good at this.
I can talk more about a classmate of Mike's I talked to yesterday.
Who was that?
Well, now we're gonna get into this.
Yeah, that looks like
About a 54 Ford, 53.
53, 52, 3. She looks familiar.
Well, I don't recognize her.
I believe,
We're a Ford Hubkit.
I believe that's Pearl Wardall.
You know what? I think you're right. I think that's her garage back there, maybe.
I lived in that house too.
Yeah. Do you have a Park Street sign?
Nope, I don't have a Park Street sign. But I
What
think
is
that's
that?
Pearl back about 1958.
What is that? A 53 Ford, 52 to 4, 52 to 4? It changed in 55.
I don't know.
Now,
Is that
I'm sure she was an interesting lady because her property was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, she inherited the property.
Well, it's still interesting property and she would be interesting. She inherited it because she was a niece, because she granddaughter. What was she?
She was a daughter.
Daughter.
She was Sam Irvin's
Daughter.
daughter. Yeah.
So he was the one that the park's named for Sam Irvin.
No, park's named for his brother, Nat Irvin or Grat Irvin, Nathaniel Grat Irvin.
Okay.
That Irvin Park had a golf course at one time.
I knew that because Henry Sin went back there to had golf club.
Had a 9-hole golf course back there.
Yeah.
There were several of those Irvin brothers, and
I knew Larry.
her father was Sam.
Okay, this is I'll do, which row do you want? Front or back?
Well, I've got the front a little bit. That looks like Bill Alexander on the
Right.
far left. Dennis Anders.
Right.
Bill Kleiss.
Joe Kleiss.
Joe Kleiss. Nah, you sure?
Well, let me see.
I think that's Bill.
You know what? I think you're right.
I think I'm right. That looks like David Lane.
David Lane,
And I should know, and I can't.
Jerry Snyder.
Jerry Snyder. Okay.
On the back, let's go to the second one's Mike Lemna,
Yeah.
Jim Wall,
Jim Wall.
Phil Morris. Standing up is Mike Browning. Upper left is, oh, come on, we know him.
Dennis Schaefer.
Dennis Schaefer. Yeah.
And
Okay.
the second from the right is
Larry Owen.
very
All
good.
right. Yeah, there's we see Phil Morris and
See Phil every
Bill
day.
Kleiss all the time out here.
Yeah, these guys all graduated well.
That was according to Alice Hatchell.
Yeah, Phil Morris was graduated in 60. Bill Kleiss graduated, I think, in 61. So there's two different classes there. Yeah, that's out at the football field too. Okay, that's Bob Beasley and Judy Beasley on the right.
Beezer.
Beezer, the beeswax. Judy McCumber, twins with Jim McCumber. Both of them have passed away now.
The Wishing Well.
Yeah. Looks like Bees got his way. She married Judy. They were a great couple. The guy, Bill,
No,
that's
can't get it.
is that oh, come on, Lash, Elmer Lash?
Elmer Lash.
That's what Sharon Swingle thinks. Elmer Lash and Susan ?
Yeah, Elmer
That's
Lash.
pretty good, Mike.
Elmer Lash, a car head.
Yeah,
Great, got some great
yeah, he's had great cars.
cars. Had a one-of-a-kind Corvette for a long time. Yeah, you want to get
Nito.
okay, there's on the left is
Wayne Huber
Wayne Huber
with a girl.
is that Reader? Is that Joyce Reader?
I don't know. I'm still trying to get the next guy. He looks so familiar.
In the back, you'll notice there's old Bob Travis.
Trav.
Travis right here in the back. Glasses.
Is that Nancy with him? You suppose?
I don't know, but right below him is Bob Mendel.
Yeah. Joe's brother, older
And-
brother.
Over to the right is Gary Chaplin
Gary
with
Chaplin.
Carolyn Jackson, Carolyn Morris, Phil's wife. The guy so left to right is Wayne Huber. I could be wrong on that Joyce Reader thing, but
But the second couple from the left, according to Clayton Harris, is Mike Hausman and Nancy Ann Harris.
oh, that's Nancy. That's Tom.
Oh,
that's Tom Harris.
Clayton and Tom's sister.
Clayton and Tom's sister who
Huh.
passed away. And then the next to him in the dark jacket, I think, is Bob Mendel. I don't know who.
Yeah, that looks like Mendel to me.
I don't know who he's with. And right above him is, of course, the old county board member, great 59 fullback,
School board member.
school board member, fullback of the football team. Good all around Mr. Tuscola guy, Bob Travis. And I'm trying to think the gal he's with. I don't know if that's
Well, I don't
White
know if
from
that's-
Arcola or not.
Could be
And that's Gary Chaplin, one of the Chaplin boys. There was Gary, Roy, Roger, and a couple girls, Phyllis and Carol. They were all, Gary looked like Tab Hunter.
Good looking guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Carolyn down there at the end.
Mhm.
Yeah, Gary was good looking. All the Chaplin boys were good looking.
Did you get Joyce Reader Wells?
Yeah, that's I said Wayne Huber and it looked like Joyce Reader.
Yeah.
That's the sister of my classmate Gail Reader out in California. His dad's on the school board. There were two of them, Joyce and Gail. His dad was a wonderful guy, nice,
Yep,
soft-spoken
Mr. Reader.
farmer, smart guy. Here was the big wreck down at this is where the big greaser ran into that's Ferguson. And the cops just caught. He doesn't like to be photographed. He was
Who does that say over here? Jim
Hughes.
User,
User.
Sinclair Products, Tuscola.
Jim User wound up owning the pool hall. My dad and I were good friends. My dad and Jim were good friends, and Mom would call down there. I'd be down there 11, 12 o'clock at night, and my mom would call, want Dad get his butt home, get to work. And I could hear her we could all hear her say, tell Homer. And he'd go, Betty, Homer's not here. And she says, you liar. I know he's home. Tell him to get his ass home. Poor Jim. So Jim said, Homer, I got to quit answering this phone for you.
I don't normally put accidents in here. People don't want to remember the worst day of their lives, but I put this one in because basically it's a fender bender, and but because of the vehicles, the Ferguson tow truck and the Jim Hughes car there, I thought were pretty interesting.
I think that's great.
That's a classic, and I don't know who the police officer is though.
Was there a processor? There was.
I don't know.
I don't know either. There's the same accident though.
It's the scene of the crime.
Now they're getting ready to handcuff this guy. Well,
Yeah.
that's not, neither one of those are Jim.
It looks like Mike, but it's
Are
not.
they looking over at the old depot? Is this across from the community building?
Yes, it is.
Could be.
Yeah. Who's at fault?
Yeah, do you have a jury verdict on that one?
No.
There were the three witnesses. Oh, they're getting ready to go on the train. They were witnesses getting ready to.
They got their baggage.
They were
got their
headed,
luggage.
we're heading to St. Louis.
Well, no, I think they're going to Hugo.
That could be the Hugo train.
Hmm.
Last train to
We don't know.
Clarksville. Yeah, I think they just took their picture for witness purposes later at the trial. Okay,
Oh, I can do the right.
these are some ministers.
These are ministers, and the gentleman on the far right is Bob Sterrett. Robert Sterrett was the pastor at the Presbyterian Church, and I suppose it's his wife with.
Okay, you do the other two. Yeah.
Mm,
The one on the left,
you know him probably.
I was gonna say Father Casey, but he's got a wife.
No,
Maybe they did an exception for Father Casey.
it probably would have.
He was a good golfer, you know that?
Oh, he liked to play golf.
Yeah. Is that middle one? Is that Lemcal? Oh, is that Lemcal?
Lemcal, I don't know.
Methodist? I don't know.
I can't remember, but that is Robert Sterrett. So that's the late 50s, maybe very early 60s, because Reverend Wadlin came. Malcolm
Wadlin's dad.
Who'd you say the one on the far left is?
I said Father Casey, but
David Kent Coy says he wants to know if it could be the Reverend Horace Batchelor from Mattoon.
Well,
Wow.
Jiminy.
you get beyond the edges of Tuscola and
This
we're
is
dead.
called Remembering Tuscola.
Yeah, we're dead. Okay.
Boy, looks familiar.
Oh, come on. We know that guy. Oh,
Do
come
you know
on.
the guy in the back? He looks familiar.
Like Elmer Lash again.
He's a different coat.
Come on. We
I
know
know.
that guy.
Okay, who is it?
I don't have any names on that.
Ah, nuts.
Oh, we would know that guy. Okay.
Johnny Lloyd in the background.
Okay, let's
Tall boy.
left to right. Second one in is Ronnie Caldwell, Joe Caldwell's brother. Fifth one in the middle is my cousin Jim Hilligoss. Behind him is John Lloyd. Below him is Pat Shanahan.
Don't know.
And is this you lived in this you lived upstairs?
Stevens?
And that's Stevens with the glasses.
No, he was bigger than that.
There's Jim McCumber. Next to last is Jim McCumber.
Isn't this the boy that was in the accident we just saw?
Well, that's Forsyth, I think.
Is it?
The one on the right is a Forsyth.
Where's Utter back when we need him?
Where's that? There's a Forsyth. I think it's Forsyth on the right, Jim McCumber. What was her name? Stevens. What was his first name?
Oh,
Chuck. Chuck Stevens, Pat Shanahan, John Lloyd, Jim Hilligoss. Is that Roy Gould?
Yes, it is.
Not sure. Ronnie Caldwell. Not sure down at the end.
You got those? You got names on those?
No, who's in the window there?
That looks like I don't know, Heacock? Willard Heacock? Willis Heacock's son?
I don't know.
Carol and Bill McCarty. Coming out of the Methodist Church.
Yeah.
Looks like when they were a little younger.
A little
Really?
younger.
We've all changed a little bit, haven't we?
Great couple. Great couple. Look at the way that little fellow's dressed. Ain't that nice? Sporty?
Nobody does it anymore.
I know.
Who is that, Bill? I know.
Well, the guy looks familiar, but I just can't get it. That's a long time ago.
They
No.
used to like taking pictures of people coming and going from church.
Well,
Well, it's a way to keep track of people's morality.
Yeah, I wonder if that was if your picture wasn't in going to church, if that was a shame,
it could
public
bother.
shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than the stocks, the pillory stocks. That's I slide to the right just a little bit, or to our left. There you go. Bernie Stabler.
I thought at first it was Bernie Stabler, but
The guy standing up looks like Artie Huser. Is that Artie Huser?
could be.
Is that Ronnie Cooper's brother, Gary Cooper?
I don't know.
Third one in on the left, and then Man Waring on the far left, and Joy Stinger on the far left. The woman sitting down is Joy Jones, Joy Stinger, with it looks like Man Waring.
Huh.
And the next guy in looks like Gary Cooper,
Do you have any on these?
Ronnie's brother. Third guy looks like Artie Huser.
I don't have any names on these.
Now, these are all 57, 8, 9. Wow.
Yeah, these haven't been posted very long, so
Remember Ronnie's older brother? Smaller than Ronnie. That was Gary. I don't know if it's Gary or not. Taylor would know. Taylor's probably yelling out there. There he is.
Oh, we know that one. That's Mr. Butkovich. And on the far right's Lucille Dickinson.
Taught art. Sweet gal. I don't know who's at the organ.
Harvey Reedy says that's his mother.
Carter Reedy. I'll be darned.
Reedy or Reddy.
Yeah, I think he's Ray Reedy's brother. Okay. On the right is Bob Mendel.
Mendel again.
And I think on the left is
That's Kyle.
Steve Kyle, I think. Don't know who the gals are.
I don't know, but the one on the left,
Who do you think that is on the left?
I don't know, but Steve Kyle had
Well,
good taste.
Steve married Jerry Little,
Little,
but that's not Jerry.
no. Oh,
And
keep my thoughts.
Bob and Joe was in my class, Joe Mendel. Here we go. There's
Mr. Lossman, Dr. Lossman.
Dr. Lossman, the dentist. There's Harry and Rose Forrester.
Harry and Rose Forrester.
Look at Harry looking at the photo there, smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling.
That looks like Burris next to him, but I don't know if that's Burris or not.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? Okay.
No. No, I don't. But that's certainly Dr. and Mrs. Lossman. And
Yes. I wonder, had he, by that time, had he ever thought about the idea of Novocaine? For the longest time, you walked into Dr. Lossman's office. He did not believe in Novocaine.
Oh, man. I can still smell it.
Well, that, of course, it looks like a Farmall tractor.
Uh-huh.
Are you sure, Mike?
Well, I don't know. The name's kind of covered up. Well, I didn't know they used to put Coke advertising on the side of
I want to tell you, that's when those are real farmers there.
outside in the weather.
Yeah.
I don't have any names.
Plowing up stocks.
There's the
Did we climb the water tower that day?
yeah, a couple of high school kids got up there and couldn't get them down. That was the fire siren
Yeah.
they put up there. That's right next to the Mexican restaurant downtown, on the north side of the Mexican restaurant downtown, across from the old Dixie Cream Donuts, and they tore that down
Oh, long time.
30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The old water tower.
Yeah, the old fire alarm or
I don't think it was a tornado alarm back then.
no.
Could have been nuclear bomb alert.
Possibly. We had to get under the desk.
That looks like George Edwards on the left, the president of First National Bank at the time.
Dr. Burns is the mayor.
Hmm.
That's not OB.
I was going to say O.B. Smith, but you don't think that's him.
I don't think so.
Erica Leonard says far right, Wilbur Hole.
Okay, Wibbo.
Mr. Edwards on the left.
Yeah, George Edwards.
And Doc Burns in the center.
Had a couple kids, June, class of 67, and then what was his little boy's name?
I don't remember.
He was a handful. I guess we were all handfuls, though.
We were all.
Some of us had to go to military school.
Some had to leave town.
Looks like a 59 Chevy, 60, 59.
Yeah. We're trying to identify the houses. So
Oh, I
looks
thought-
like to me the tree fell down.
Those are pine trees.
Yeah.
Looks
Big
like
stone.
Garrett.
Garrett.
That's the middle. No,
No.
No,
that's right. That's just outside of Hugo.
don't know.
There's Don Rumbley and Tommy
Tommy
Mercer.
Mercer.
Don Rumbley coached here from 1960 up till my freshman year, when we won the regional and got beat at Kentner Gym by Bloomington High School, and he kicked a cameraman, and that was the end of Don.
Tommy Mercer.
Terrific, Tom terrific
Terrific.
quarterback.
I got to play golf with him and his girlfriend, whose name,
What was her name?
well, what was her name? She had a nice shoe size.
I just hated Tommy all my life.
But I played golf with him and I was just tickled pink.
Oh, there's Kenny Ring
Kenny Ring.
on
Yeah.
the left. Go ahead, Bill. Name that's
Well,
Mike.
down at the bottom there, we got Mike Waters.
Mike Waters. Good.
Oh, jeez.
This is
Steve Maddox is the third one in, and
Oaks.
that's Gary
Oaks.
Oaks on the far
I
right.
don't know the second one. Who's the second one?
Well, he looks so familiar.
Top is Bobby Weber. One of the Webbers, I think Bobby.
Middle's Jimmy Connor.
Jimmy Connor's right in the middle. Looks like Jerry, not Joe. What's the oldest Ring boy?
Gary?
Gary Ring, and then
Well-
Larry Ring.
Is that Larry or Gary?
I think that's Gary, and that's Larry. Gary's older
No,
than
it'd
Larry.
be Larry. It'd be Larry.
This we need to know this one. Second one in from Bobby Weber is
You know, that might be Gary because that's class. Mike Waters graduated in
Mhm.
'69. Okay.
yeah, Ringo's like 71, and Gary was
Yeah.
70, 69, 70.
I
One
bet you guys.
one on the end realizes he's flipping off the camera.
Well, he just no, he did.
He
that.
lost his balance.
Lost his balance.
Yeah. This was before we ever knew what that digit meant.
Yeah.
Ooh, now
Well, that's Mark Toomey, middle down the
in the
middle.
middle.
Is
And
that-
on the far left in the white sweater is Paul Vogel.
And then
That's Mark Wish on the right.
Mark Wish, and right above him is Bill Cunningham.
Yeah.
Mark Bright in the middle. Upper right,
That's Larry Bunning, isn't it?
Larry,
Or
it
is
looks like upper left, all the way up left, looks like Larry Bunning. Don't know the guy. Mark Bright, Bill Cunningham. Left to right is Paul Vogel, Mark Toomey, Mark Wish. Who's the coach?
Well, it's driving me nuts. I
Is
sat
that-
here and looked at this and can't tell you.
Mr. Meyer, maybe?
That's not Joe Meyer, I don't think.
No,
That was Carol Schroet's guess.
Well, I'm sorry, Carol.
well, Carol, he had glasses and thin face and
Yeah,
hair like that,
dark hair. Yeah, that's not
but
Joe.
that's not him. That's
Somebody's dad. I don't try to think whose it would be. There's Al Boris on the left.
Albert in his prime. The other coach is Jack Wellens,
Fat
police
Jack,
chief,
police chief.
Fat Jack. Holding the sign is class of '66. That's Steve Hedinger.
Fire chief. Left to him is Leeds. That's the one that was killed in the wreck out east of town.
Mhm.
Everybody died except the daughter.
Wayne.
Wayne Leeds.
Wayne.
Great. Wonderful, wonderful.
Standing next to
Steve.
Al Boris is Peter Brown. His dad was the
Yeah.
hospital administrator.
And then Dennis Kahn.
Dennis Kahn.
And the taller guy is that Elvis?
Who?
Elvis Presley.
Well, not quite. I tell you what, if you played for Al Boris, you were going to bust it.
Al set some scoring records at the time down at T-Topless. T-Top, he's a good pitcher. When I pitched GI League ball, Al was older than me. Al taught me all the tricks about moving around the mound and how to hold the ball, and he was a good athlete.
He was my all-star coach in Little League.
Yeah.
And he was my Biddy basketball coach at one
Yeah.
time, too.
Okay, that's Chigger Nader holding the sign.
Mouse Cunningham.
Left to right is Ragsdale, Kent Ragsdale.
That's Kent Ragsdale, Lynn Mouse, Mike
Well, we
Cunningham,
ought to give his real name.
Bob Singy,
Mike Cunningham, Bob Seeney, Chuck Nader. You know,
Sugar, Little Ed Nader, maybe.
Eddie Nader's brother holding the sign.
Butch Consor.
And Larry
Larry
Culbertson, and is that Hop Connor?
Who's the coach?
Slide over.
That's Hop.
Harlan Connor,
How neat.
Butch Consor.
Man,
Wow.
oh man.
Wow. Look at Larry.
Yeah, Larry Culbertson. Hey, God, great.
Kent Ragsdale wound up being a lawyer. Mike Cunningham, we talked to him last year, I think. and
Yeah,
Mike's in charge of
we got about 3 restaurants.
3 or 4 restaurants in Chicago.
Bob Seeney's a retired educator out of Alaska,
He was in Navy. Was he Navy or Air Force? Air Force, I think.
Air Force, he was in
Career.
Air Force.
I lost track of Nader.
I lost track of the Naders.
Butch-
I lost track of Butch
Butch
Consor.
Consor used his dad. A lot of these kids, their dads were heating and plumbing. Consor was with Rothgab, wasn't he, for a
Yeah.
while?
Kenny
Consor-
Colbert or Larry Culbertson's dad was a machinist. He had a machine shop where what's there now? The cast iron pump.
Yeah. Well, there's that guy. There's Denny Kahn, upper left. And
Oh, you know who that is?
who is that?
I think that's Butch Dietrich's brother. We called him Dink.
I don't know. So Butch Consor, upper left. Bill thinks this is Dink Dietrich, Mike Wellborn.
No, that's Dennis Kahn.
I said Dennis Kahn.
Okay.
Then Dink Dietrich,
I think that's a Dietrich. That's a Wellborn.
Mike Wellborn. That's a Benner.
Yeah.
Butch
that's Butch
Consor.
Consor.
Kent Ragsdale. Lower left, Dana Bishop.
Dana Bishop.
We have here
Steve Deutschman.
Steve Deutschman, John Rothgab,
Dale Knetz.
Dale Knitz.
Paul Vogel and Toomey, Mark Toomey.
Yeah.
Tim Hole says it's Phil Brewer.
Well,
Phil Benner.
Benner.
Benner?
Yeah.
Benner. I meant Benner.
Yeah.
He became a state trooper.
We said Phil Benner, didn't we?
You
I
said
don't-
Benner, you didn't say the first name.
Sometimes we get
Well, I
some,
don't know what his married name is.
our mouth gets in the way of our brain.
What's his married name now?
Who?
Phil Benner.
Bill Benner's dead.
Oh, okay. That was
Yeah.
a joke, by the way. What's his married name?
Oh,
Guys don't have married name. There's upper left, Joe Wilhelm. It's gonna be a little tougher. Not sure about the second guy.
This little guy in a white coat, that looks
Oh,
like
that's Ricky Wellborn. Oh, this back here, the third guy. Who's the fourth guy? Is Mark Seib.
that's Mark Seib.
Who's the third guy?
I don't know.
Fourth and fifth guy down here is we can see the last guy down here. Who's that? Can you slide that just a little? Oh, is that Nolan? I mean, is that Teal? Is that Mark Teal?
Might be a Teal. So Leeds, and that's David Leeds.
On the right hand, on the bottom right hand side, David Leeds, right to left.
Smoke coming, or McCumber.
Tom
McCumber.
Weber. Don't know. Gary Alexander and Ricky Wellborn.
You know what? This kid here, we should know.
Yeah, we've seen him twice now. Is that
That's not Carson's brother, is it?
Is that Wayne Reinhardt? Is that Wayne Reinhardt?
No, because Wayne was class of 67. Gary Alexander is 69.
Alita Froman says third from left is Jim Helm.
No,
No.
That's Doug. That's Bill's class of 66.
Yeah.
Donna Stahl says Johnny Chambers, top row, second from left.
Well,
okay.
It looks like
Yeah, it is Johnny.
you know who it looks like? It looks like his son,
Yeah.
but his son's much younger.
This is class of 69, and I don't know who that third guy is or the fifth guy.
We'll research.
There's George Leonard on the left.
If they lose a game, the other coach doesn't look happy.
No, he's not. These are going to be a little tougher here, I think.
Gary Neal, Bill Anderson, bottom row.
Oh, bottom row. Yeah, that's Gary Neal. Billy Anderson.
Don't know. That smile looks familiar.
We know him.
Don't know. I know.
This is class of, what is this, 70? Or is that
Who
69?
did you say it was?
Gary Neal, was it? Is he 69 or 70?
69, I think.
Tim Hole says Bill Anderson, second from left, bottom row.
That's Ronnie Chaplin.
Yeah, go ahead. What did Tim Hole say?
Bill Anderson, second from left, bottom row.
Yeah, we got Billy.
Yeah, Bill.
Why didn't Tim give some of these other names? In the back, we think that's Ronnie Chaplin.
Second one in is Ronnie Chaplin. Fourth one in looks like a Teal again.
Well, there were a lot of them.
A couple of them, weren't there? Mark Teal and
Yeah. Did you take her out? You tell me that.
I took his sister, was a beautiful gal.
Yeah, I know.
Maureen.
Yeah.
Really, she was a sweet gal.
Yeah, principal.
Wound up being a principal over near Danville. I think.
Yeah, she did. Let me look.
Well, that's Mr. Wellborn, the back right.
Yeah, Pete Wellborn.
Pete Wellborn, back right.
So this is the same. See Gary Alexander right there in front of Pete.
Yeah. Let's take off from the bottom row left. Is that
They run together.
a Sipe?
Can't tell.
Third one is Ricky Wellborn. Wow.
Yeah.
Gary Alexander there with a nice.
Do you have anyone comment on this?
Nope. Who's peeking around the side over here?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that's Mark Sipe in the middle, down low. That his younger brother, Eric. In the back middle is Tommy Harris.
Yeah, that is Tom Harris.
This upper left, I think, is Troy Truitt.
Now this, I'm going to go crazy trying to identify him. Bottom right. Really familiar.
Well, this one kid apparently couldn't smile unless he manually adjusted his mouth.
Well, he had dentures and they were falling out.
Yeah.
That lower right should be.
He'd been to Dr. Lossman.
Who is that lower right? Let's just think about that.
Oh, it's just, I know, it's just.
Paul Vogel
Is
ahead.
it a Kleiss?
I'm going to say that is a Kleiss, but
Carlos? No, that's
well,
not Carlos.
would
No,
it be
I don't know.
Mark or well, who's the oldest? Let me see. Danny is class of what, 70?
Oh, he's
2?
way, yeah,
73?
he's a young guy.
Well, it could be Carlos.
Well, Carlos 71,
Who was
Sipe 69.
is that? Dennis Oaks, by the way.
Well, I thought it was Dennis when I first looked at it, but I don't know. Tom Harris 69.
69. Troy Truitt is 69, I think.
Let's not beat ourselves up.
There's
My 8th grade homeroom teacher.
Jim. Bill and I both are big fans of Jim Chaplin on the right. He taught me Little League baseball, Cardinals, when I was 8 years old.
Wonderful, wonderful man.
He was late to practice one day. He had a 50 Ford, black 50 Ford, and he come barreling through the park about 50 mile an hour. And he pulled up and he was mad. He got a ticket for speeding downtown. I said, well, you just did it again, coach. Wound up at Freeport as a principal.
He was a principal of a highly gifted school,
Yeah.
as I remember. That's in front of him, Steve Lyons, Mark Teals in the back.
Well, let's do it. Bottom row, right to left. Steve Lyons, Mike Wellborn, Benner,
Phil Benner,
and
Donnie Snyder.
Donnie Snyder. Back row is Mark Teal, Gary Little, and
Bill Irwin.
Bill Irwin.
I think that's all the names I had here.
100%. Oh, here we go.
There's Russell Mata on the left.
Holding that sign is Dana and David Bishop.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's Leon Kenny.
Leon Kenny back in the middle. That's the Bills class. And that is who's on the right?
I can't tell.
Russell Mata's mother, Ruby, taught us English.
I miss Dana.
Dana was just one of the sweetest kids in the world.
Smart
kid.
hardworking.
Died too early.
Shavy, I hope Shavy's watching to see that picture. God.
Yeah, and Dick. Their older brother, Dick, I played baseball. Dick and I were Cardinals, Jim Chaplin. We were pitcher-catcher combo. When I pitched, Dick caught. When Dick pitched, I caught.
Mm-hmm.
He was better at both positions, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you paid him that compliment.
I did. There's Kenny on the left is Kenny Hedinger.
Yeah.
Tom McCumber. Not Jimmy Kleiss.
That is Jimmy Kleiss.
Third guy is Jimmy Kleiss. Who's the fourth guy in the back?
Don't know, but that's Ray McCumber, isn't it?
Yeah, and then there's Leitz.
Yeah, Leeds holding the sign.
Well, that one guy there, is he the guy had trouble grinning a few photos back?
I don't know.
But we should know this kid right here on the right. Is that a Flesser? No, does that look like Vankel's son almost?
No.
I mean, not Vankel, Bob Arnold's son.
Really? Johnny?
John
Arnold.
But he'd been, well, Bob Arnold came in 1964. That could be Coach Arnold's son, lower right-hand corner.
It could be these boys.
He might have played basketball for Wyoming, University of Wyoming.
Janice Moody says Ken Hedinger, Jim Kleiss, Dave Leeds, question mark, Kerry Jones, back row, Tom McCumber, question mark, Dwight McCumber, and Tim Cole, tag Virgil Tattersall. Back row from right.
Well, that's the one that's your class.
I don't think that's him, but what do I know? But that's Ray McCumber, isn't it? I mean, there's.
Well, it's either Ray and Dwight looked a lot alike.
They looked alike, but why would he be coaching? This is Ray coaching his son's team.
I think that's Ray, but I don't know. And I don't know if that's Willard Tattersall, but I do know this is Dick. That's
not Willard.
No, that is on the upper right is Ron. That's Gary.
I can't think.
That's Bill Kleiss.
Bill Kleiss, for sure.
Steve Ron.
Steve Ron.
according to
Steve
Sandy
Ron.
Fuller.
Yeah. Let me get some here real quick. You go ahead and look at that, Bill.
I'm looking at our friend Bill Kleiss, Mike's bailiff, when Mike was judge. I always would like to figure out who these two little girls are. Young girls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, can you see that little Corvette?
Yeah,
That's Steve Ron waving, and sitting next to him is
I don't
Kitty,
know.
Kitty
Katie
Key.
Kish?
Let me see that.
Yeah, and that's Denny Hackett in the car next to him.
God, let me see that.
There
That's
you go.
great.
There's Steve Ron.
Sure is. Kitty Kish. Oh, you should have been so lucky.
Yeah, well, I only missed it by about 40,000%.
The board looks rather stiff.
Yeah, it was back in stiff boards. Okay. That's Bill Kleiss, Gary Ron. There is that's Jan Charneski, Allison Seed. On the left, we know that gal.
You're looking through this annual, you'll find her.
Well, I should. Carol, that's not Carol Gates, is it?
Well, I don't know.
Could be Carol Gates. And on the right, I don't know.
Me neither.
I think it's Carol Gates. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Oh, there's Brenda Bunning, Brenda Stewart Bunning,
Funny. Wilma?
Wilma Allen. On the right is Kathleen Boylston, I think.
Wilma Allen hasn't changed a bit, has she?
No, we talked to her at Becky and I ran this. She was with Tommy Davis and with Mrs. Dowd,
Sally Dow.
Sally Dowd, and they were over there having a good time. They were getting ready to go out dancing.
Sally sent me a cigar the other day.
Sally's.
Oh, she's the best.
You know why I like Sally so much? Whatever I say, she laughs at. That to me is a great personality.
Still hasn't lost her New Jersey accent.
Are we supposed to not tell Wilma's age?
What is Wilma now? Do you know?
99, maybe 98.
98, I thought.
98,
but-
and you know she looks
She
sharp
looks
as
like she does in this picture.
yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing. She still looks great. She's still funny, sharp as all three of those girls are sharp as a tack. Mrs. Davis is probably
She's 95, I
95,
think.
95
yeah.
or so. Well,
Whoa, not Linda Brown, is it?
no, I don't think so.
I don't have any names on that one.
Yeah. Second from the left, I believe, is Virginia Stilley. Dick Stilley's looks like you on the right, Ingo.
That's not me.
Carpenter's clothes? You didn't do carpenter's
No,
clothes?
I did, but years later. But that kid looks familiar. This girl really looks familiar. But
Yeah, I think that's Virginia Stilley, second from left. One of the most beautiful voices you'd ever want to hear, if that's her.
Well, Maureen Deaver says the kids are Lynn ? And Leon Kenny.
Oh, that's Lynn Ron. That's
oh, there you
That's
go.
Andy Ron's sister, Lynn. And
Yeah,
and that is
I thought she looked familiar.
that's Neon Dion Leon
But
Kenny.
her hair was.
She was
Lynn
blonde.
Ron's hair blonde.
She was blonde. She must have dyed it for the style show. Well, there's my wife.
Gee, Manee.
You ought to-
Look at that. There's Beck.
There's Becky. You'll have to send me that one, David.
Okay.
So second left is Rebecca Kegley, Carol. I don't know who the little girl is. On the right looks like Donna Hausman. Is that Donna?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it.
You know who the little girl is. It's Carol Martin.
I was going to say Carol Martin, but I did not want her mad at me.
Hmm.
Can you send me that one?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Becky doesn't think she looks good in hats or print clothing.
I thought that was her pajamas. I didn't know it was.
Well, rain gear.
Carol Martin.
Carol Martin. Carol Shuey.
Carol's my neighbor.
There's Linda. There's Linda Summerlot, third from right left, and that's her younger sister, isn't it? Second.
Debbie.
Second one's Debbie, then Linda.
Who's on the far right?
I don't know. Who's on the left?
I don't know.
Linda Summerlot looked like she could be in the movies in Hollywood. She had that smoldering look.
Smoldering. Does that mean hot?
Well, smoldering is smoking.
Yeah.
Her dad, Max, worked out at the plant, lived at Timmons Drive.
Well, Joy Faye tagged Deb Faye. I don't know if that means she's.
Oh, Deb Faye is Deb Summerlot.
Okay.
That's her married name.
Yeah.
Married one of the Faye boys, Matt Wood. Well,
These girls are getting their ticket to go into the style show. Look at that. Somebody back in the back with a fur wrap on.
yeah, they threw.
First stole.
Yeah, fur stole. Nope.
Sorry. Oh, looks like isn't that Obie Smith's daughter or not?
Nancy?
Is that Nancy Smith? I don't know.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
what would I know?
Okay,
Oh,
here we
go.
go. The bottom row, left to right, is Don Lane,
Pete Green.
Dwayne, Pete Green, Mrs. Van Voorst, Tommy Grubb. Go ahead and get the top.
Okay, on the top, that's Bill Alexander, Carl Court. Go ahead.
Bobby Wyatt and Mike Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Court and Wyatt were the centers. Court was great center, 59-60. Wyatt took over great center, 61 through 63. Then it was taken over by Hoot Gibson.
Rick Hoot Gibson. You know, this is some sort of singing.
They're all singers.
ensemble.
They're
Yeah,
all singers.
good
They're all good singers. Mike Kyle, in fact, sang at weddings for a long time.
Mhm.
He's over in Decatur, a physical therapist. I don't know if he still sings at weddings or not. I don't know. It looks like what are those things in the middle of the table?
Karen Wynn says Alma Wynn and Margaret Wynn on left.
Plum Wynn's wife
Well,
and Mrs. Wynn.
there's no room for food there, David. The table setting took up all the room for food.
Yeah. It looks like they killed Big Bird.
Well, they killed something big and laid up there. Okay. That is, I think, second one in. Oh boy. Well, the third one in is Carolyn Jackson.
Yeah, then the Stripes is Carolyn Jackson.
Next to her might be her sister, Mary Jane Jackson.
Jane, yeah.
The woman on the left, so there's the Jackson twin girls. They both were cheerleaders. I think they were separated by 1 year in high school. Come on, we know that gal on the left. She looks like okay.
Well, I recognized one for sure. That's Marianne Holsty.
I think on the left is Rosemary Van Zant.
Could be.
Marianne Holsty, not sure. And then Erica Steiner.
Erica Steiner. Skinner flipped his bike.
She was a beautiful gal. Doc Steiner's daughter. She was a quite a looker. I'm not sure who the third gal is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think the one on the left's married Van Zant.
Move it so we can see the guy.
Who's the guy there? He stole all the gravy, and he's happy. Look at that smile.
I would be happy too.
Yeah, that looks like a church basement in Hugo.
Surrounded by women and a bowl of gravy. What more could you ask for?
He's in what's called hog heaven.
That's
And Sue Gavin says that's Ida and E.S. Shorty Wetzel.
Well, Sue Wetzel would know.
Yeah.
Sue Gavin was Sue Wetzel. That's
Let's see what else we got here. I think that's all the names I had. This is it says Ida and Shorty Wetzel again. Or nope, maybe that's I was on the wrong picture. Well, yeah, far left, E.S. Shorty Wetzel. Are you guys there? You guys are gone.
Now we're trying. Now we got to get Harold Wetzel instead of Shorty Wetzel.
yeah. I think Sue Gavin or Sue Wetzel and Stevie Wetzel. I think their dad, their mom was Mary Wetzel at the library, and their dad was Harold.
Mhm.
So Shorty would have been their uncle.
I suppose.
Okay, here we go, Bill. Gotta go get a drink.
Got to get my drink. Wish they should have put their name tags on. We'll
David, do you have any names on this?
No,
these girls from Hugo.
Out of towners. We should know that guy. Boy, people dressed up back then. You notice this is late 50s.
I bet somebody's put a name on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a known farmer.
Bottom of a church building, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, he looks familiar.
Yeah, he does.
Tim Holt thinks it's Myron Riddle.
Myron Riddle. I know. No wonder he looked familiar. Myron Riddle lived out west of town.
And
Yeah, Russell.
Janice Moody says that's Martian Hausman in the back.
Okay, I'm looking way back there. You could peek.
Way in the back. I think you're right. See back there, the
Yeah.
guy with the receding hairline.
Yeah.
That's a young Marcian house.
Yeah. Well, this is about 59 once again, I think. See, that's back when you could smoke inside a restaurant. People don't believe we did that.
That's probably the basement of a church.
Mm-hmm. Or smoke in a church.
Well, that guy looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any names.
Wow.
Jiminy. Bob Trimble with no hair.
I don't know. All of a sudden, my brain's turned into jelly.
Me too. Just a long time ago.
I think this is Douglas County farmers.
Must be. I think it is too.
There's two farmers from Hugo. There was the flea market at the basement of the church.
Huh. They were selling everything. Look at that.
Oh boy, look at that one.
I wonder if
That's the back.
Nick's.
Well, it's got groceries there. I don't think
Yeah.
that looks like Nick's stand.
Yeah. Do we know that little girl?
I don't have any names. You do see the Tuscola Review.
Well, that's nice.
Looks like the journal, maybe.
Well, she better buy the review. It's Wally Moon on that sport coverage. If you go in,
Go back a little bit. Wally Moon, that's Milwaukee. Over the left. He had big eyebrows.
big eyebrows. Maybe it's not him.
I've got him over there in the other baseball book too.
That's Williams, Ted Williams in that
On the left.
Boston. Yeah, on the left.
Well, I know Wally played for St. Louis and he played for LA. He played for Milwaukee too. Wally.
Can't remember.
Left-handed hitter. Played outfield.
Bushy eyebrows.
Bushy eyebrows.
And that's it for this week.
Oh,
That's all you had? There's only about 10 of them.
Well, I've got next week's if you want to go again. But you're frozen up again. Can you hear me? Back.
Bill had to say something here.
I caught up with one of Mike's classmates on the phone the other day. Had a real nice conversation with her. She had a hard time remembering Mike, but she remembered me.
Who was that?
Kathy Rice.
Oh, not in California.
Yeah, well, she's out in Fairfax, Virginia, because she was with Gordon.
Oh, Gord's trying to see her.
Yeah, had a visit with my classmate Gordon Rice. Had a great visit with her.
I had one date with Kathy.
Well, yeah, well, most of the times you had one date.
One date.
How'd you get past two with Beck?
Beck was, I must have caught her at the bottom.
Maybe she's depressed.
I caught her at the bottom. Got lucky.
And then you had a card from my niece.
Yeah, I got a card. Evidently, Bill's niece, Andrea, and Cindy and John Surma's daughter, Adrian. Farrell lives down at the suburb of Atlanta now. Sent me a nice card saying she loves watching all three of us on the podcast.
Banter.
She especially likes David's sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even get David to laugh on that.
Well, David's got a sense of humor just to put up with us.
Yeah, it's.
David's easy.
I didn't know I had a sense of humor.
Let me see that here.
That's what you won about your 10th humor award.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Bill's grabbed the 1961 annual with Kitty Quiche in it.
Man, these things are signed. Who does this belong to?
I don't know, but here, let's get a picture of Kitty here.
Gee.
We need to end this with a picture of Kitty. This was Fred Holstey's class, by the way. David, your
Barber.
barber. There's Fred right there. There's your barber.
Yep. The third one from the left.
Yeah. And there is Miss Universe.
There you go.
Right there. Kitty and I had what you might call a long distance platonic relationship.
Yeah. Did she know it?
No, she didn't. That's what made it special. And there's Steve Ron.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough.
There's
City went to high school 2 years of that with.
Yeah.
Bill Kleiss.
What a class.
Look at Carl Court's.
Carl Court was everything. He was
involved. He had to use small print.
Graduation marshal, president, boy state, all state, little all state, all area, all conference. Danny Gore.
Danny Gore.
Best dancer.
TCHS 1, 2, 3, 4.
Best dancer in the history of Tuscola. Leroy Davis, one of your cousins, is in here.
Which one? Lorraine?
Leroy.
Oh, okay.
And there is Ralph Briggs. Bill and I go out and talk to Ralph all the time. That's Pat Conser.
I bet I've got more than one cousin in there.
You got a lot of cousins in here.
I have about 100 cousins.
The school board at the time had 3 doctors on it. Had Dr. Myron Boylson, Dr. Melvin Lossman, and then Ragsdale was a doctor in chemistry or something.
Chemistry,
PhD.
yeah.
But anyway, David, this class of 61 was a pretty good class.
Well, this is your sister's yearbook.
Mm-hmm.
Melinda. They're talking to her.
Yeah, she was a sophomore.
Yeah. Melinda Summerlin.
Yeah. I wonder if those things considered confidential, the letters you put in the back of your yearbook when you write stuff?
Confidential?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, if some of this
since they're
stuff,
publicly published, I don't think they're confidential.
I know, but it's published, but then you have your own yearbook and then people write in the back, little sayings.
Oh, well, that would be, yeah.
Okay, because we're going to read some of them that were pretty juicy.
I think you could read them.
Yeah. I don't want to get sued. Bob Wyatt, Bill Alexander.
Yeah, I spend most of my time trying not to get sued.
Yeah, well, you got a lawyer on speed dial over in Springfield, that tells you whether or not you're in trouble.
If I think I might get sued, I call him before I run it.
Well, it's better than calling them after you.
I've only had one lawyer ever actually threaten to sue me, and that was Mark Petty.
What was he going to sue you for?
Libel.
Did you say something about Mark, or did you say something about the township?
He had a client that was involved in an accident and was charged with DUI. And a year later, the woman who was killed in the accident, her family held a fundraiser, and we put in the paper that she died as a result of a drunk driving accident.
Right.
Oh, the case was still in court, so it had not been proven in a court of law. Even though I didn't name the driver, it was just a fundraiser for the family. The driver was Mark's client, and he wrote me a letter, cease and desist letter, to not refer to that as a drunk driving accident. And so, yeah, I called my lawyer on that one.
That got dropped. You know why it got dropped?
No.
Dave Bartholomew, the then state's attorney, let the speedy trial demand or the statute of limitations expire. He didn't get to it. So it never was adjudicated. But yeah, I remember that case. It was coming into Arcola. That sounds okay to me to say she died. You didn't put his name in there. What was the problem?
Well, Mark was just looking out for his client, but
yeah,
my lawyer said he was charged with DUI. There's a preponderance of evidence. Don't worry about it.
There you go. See, lawyers have a good function in life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what they are. Well, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. I gave Bill the album that has Kitty Quiche all through it.
Yeah.
And Bill is lost in
the 60s.
He's lost in Quicheland.
Well, I'm surprised that drew his attention away from the golf being played outside.
Well, Kitty could do that to you. West School.
Yeah. This basketball team, the varsity basketball team, lost 3 times to Oakland.
You know why?
Trimble.
Yeah. Bobby Giles.
Before we sign off, let's have a little shout out to the cross country team. Both the
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful what they did?
Fantastic. And to Katie Foltz, third place finisher.
The boys team last year, Benton won it, and Benton had everybody come back. And in fact, the guy who won last year won again this year. But that shows you how hard these kids worked to improve their time.
I am going to genuinely miss Josiah Horton, Jackson Barrett, and Will Foltz running down North Line, running down Prairie Street. Sometimes I had to avoid, but those 3 in particular, they're seniors. They're the seniors.
Yeah, and
I'm going to miss those boys.
I think Foltz ran his personal best to get Tuscola the crown.
Yeah,
and somebody else came.
Great effort.
Somebody else came in 30th.
The McLeese and the other boy,
Xander. Matu.
Yeah,
they came in, and Ben's fourth and fifth place guys were like 64th and 70 something. So we beat them. I mean, everybody on the team contributed to the score.
Jackson Barrett's, and if he would have been running in 2A, he would have finished in 4th place. If he'd have been running in 3A, the big guys, he still would have been all state at 18th place.
The
we're not sure how they scored that, but I went through and looked at, they assigned a number. You know, if you come in 48th, you get like 48 points. And so I think it took all 5 guys, add up to about 97, and all 5 Benton guys add up to 119. So we won not only at the top, it was critical that we had a whole team of 5 guys, it looks like.
Yeah, the 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a team effort. Paper's running a little late because of some press repairs, but here's the front page of this week's Chronicle.
Is it out now?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but
That's a good headline. That's a good headline.
Great
Did a
headline.
good job on that.
so that's the front
Do
page.
you have Bill Nye in there anywhere? No.
Did we make column 1?
Well, yeah, trick or treat. Blow up on the trick or treat. That's Bill, I think, when he was a young kid. Blow up the trick or treat one a little bit on the left. That was Bill when he was 5 years old.
Mac Watkins over in Arthur.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Bill.
Close enough.
Yeah.
North Ward's character parade.
They had a good time. It was a terrible day, wasn't it?
Cold.
Otherwise, cold.
Cold day.
Did Jenny miss it this year?
Yep.
How does Jenny like retirement, David?
She loves it. She's still subbing quite a lot. She subs about 3 days a week, sometimes as a teacher, sometimes as a paraprofessional. So she likes being able to still go into the school and work, but doesn't have any lesson plans, doesn't have to worry about it at the end of the day, and no teacher parent conferences. So all the fun stuff.
I saw her leaving. She's driving the car that says press. I saw her leaving the school the other day, and I wonder if she's still teaching. So she still goes out there every day, or just when she kind of is needed?
About 3 days a week.
Well, good. You want to phase away from it. I must admit that when I quit being a lawyer, the door hit me in the butt when I was going out the door, and that was it. 40 years of the law was enough.
Yeah.
So the podcast now, we're approaching what, 20th year?
I don't think so.
We've been doing it a while.
I've lost track. I've lost track. About 5 years, 6 years.
Something like that.
I think it's getting up there.
Well, David, I can't say enough how much we appreciate what you're doing for
These pictures are great.
History of Tuscola.
And I have found out in talking with people that many of them have seen, like Gordon Rice, he's watched us a couple of times, remembering Tuscola. Most times, though, people will look at it, they'll see it on the Facebook thing, and then every now and then people like to see us go band.
Well, if they want to hear the stories behind the story,
the real story behind the story.
They want to read the subtext behind the rumor. We'll give them the truth.
Yeah.
David, would you remember to send me that picture of Becky with Carol?
Yeah. We'll give them the truth, and if we don't know the truth, we'll make something up.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, we're close to the truth. We're somewhere.
Yeah.
In the ballpark of the truth.
Alternative facts.
Yeah, we could be speechwriters for some of the presidential candidates. I mean, you know.
So, all right. Anything else?
David, thank you once again.
All right.
Have a good day,
We'll see you
David.
next week on Remembering Tuscola.